Hey there, chart friends. Lamont here from Chart Guys, checking in on the what? On the electric vehicles and wind for a member. It's like, well, reference. Excuse me. Alrighty, so we have Tesla earnings tomorrow. I don't know if they announced when. Either way, earnings are tomorrow, going to potentially be the catalyst to break out of this daily EQ, though there is a lot of space towards the downside. So if we were to take out this daily low here of 406.05, I wouldn't be surprised if the bulls showed up before this test here of 351.30. And as long as they could play defense and come back towards the middle of the range after holding 351.30, then this EQ is alive and kicking, and maybe it'll never break. Maybe it just goes on forever. Obviously not. Eventually this range will get to the point where a break will be imminent, but for right now it's really not impossible by any means for us to just continue to tighten. Consider this one leg up. If that's the case, then we can just tighten up for maybe even a few more weeks. We'll see. Anyway, we had 4 straight days of downside. We are now testing the pivot for the month, and I believe we hit hourly oversold conditions today. At the end of the day, we also got a little bear break with no follow through. This is setting up for a potential RSI failed swing setup, and that's just when you get some RSI bullish divergence where price has made a lower low. See, price made a low here, and RSI is making a higher low, but also it's unable to break below 30. All the RSI failed swing. Only reason why I know that is because Chart Guys Jason did a video on it, so I'm pretty sure it's on the channel for anybody who is interested. Anyway, getting back to these electric vehicles, we are just looking for a healthy daily higher low over 406.05 at the moment. Just curious about trend line. It looks like it did find some support there. Okay, so what are we looking out for here? Oh, here. Oh, that's right. It actually broke out of a potential channel earlier today. Broke down, actually. Broke down out of this channel, this potential channel the other day. I mean today. Broke out, tried to make its way back in, couldn't hold it. Bear break at the end of the day with little follow through at the moment. Would not be surprised by just a nothing burger until whenever this earnings announcement. It will be after the market close, so I would not be surprised by just some sideways action throughout the day and then have the fireworks show up in the evening. What else to say? I guess. Moving on to NIO on the daily time frame. Very, very healthy consolidation. Potential daily bull flag. Anything over 2117 will be a higher low. Let's see. Confident that it's set. No, we are not yet confident that that daily higher low has been set. Whenever I see tight consolidation, I always want to see if I can get a channel going, just to offer me some structure, right? Because it's not so much that I'm suggesting you play the upper and lower boundaries, although of course you can do that. It's more so that I want to see a change in character. I want to see a change in the price actions character. And so if we've maintained a channel for a very long time and then you start to break out of it, well, obviously that can give us some indication for how to trade in the future. Alrighty, so for NEO, let's see here. Ideally, what the bulls will see tomorrow is a hold of this low of 27.68 and a break of this high 28.30 to confirm this hourly uptrend and set that daily higher low there at 27.05, and then be looking up at potential or upside, blue sky upside. That's the ideal scenario, at least. And any bears, any aggressive bears, can be top fishing the channel resistance. However, ideally you'll get like 5-minute overbought conditions while we're up there. Let's see what those tops were like over there. Overbought, bought. So ideally, if you're going to be top fishing, because it's an hourly pivot you're looking for based on this hourly channel, or at least an hourly trend line, then ideally you'll have 5-minute overbought conditions. And for the bearish side, we can be bottom fishing this price action shelf here. Oh, well, let me see. Let's dig out the most meaningful levels. The most meaningful level to me would be this high that was set in regular trading hours. And then this, I guess this low in pre-market. So there's my shelf. If price were to enter this area near the bottom of the channel in 5-minute oversold conditions, then I would be more than happy to bottom fish these levels here. Because, I mean, even if you just run it just like this, the risk should be, the risk is controlled for sure, but the RR should be fairly decent just looking for a lower high. Yeah, even just looking to test these highs, it's not bad. Hit over 2 to 1 on your money with just this kind of a very, very simple scaling. And if you just want to always double check and zoom out on the daily time frame, would that be a reasonable trade? Would that be a reasonable place to look for a potential daily higher low to be set? And I would say yeah. Do a fit pull real quick just to get a gauge, and it would be a 382 retrace. It would be a very bullish retracement, but I mean it's a very bullish ticker. So we'll see, and of course it will be affected by Tesla's earnings tomorrow, most likely. And then of course there's also the weekly pivot, right, smack dab on this level. So if we can get 5-minute hourly oversold conditions in this zone of interest, I would be interested in NEO. NKLA. NKLA, trying to find this potential daily higher low. Anything over 1751 will be that daily higher low. In order for us to be confident that that higher low has been set at 1950, we just want to see that hourly trend change, which we have not gotten yet. There is no hourly trend change. We're just in this sideways tightening range as of now. Kind of in this no trade zone, or at least for me personally. I don't really love trading between the pivot and the previous day's close. So ideally what bulls will see tomorrow is a hold of this hourly low of 1988 and a break of this high of 2109 to change that hourly trend and have us confident that that daily low has been set. And then bears will just be scouting for a daily lower high against 2730. So really best case scenario for macro bulls right now is daily sideways range, maybe a basing kind of deal. That's really the best case scenario for bulls right now for NKLA. Much prefer shorts chart like. Well, then again, there's not been a weekly lower high in a long time. Even if the bulls are able to change this daily trend, see some weekly bounce follow through, bears are just going to be waiting at 54, 56 for a potential lower high. WKHS. So still just hanging out near the bottom of this. I thought we had a range. Oh. Here. We had a range run out. Well, whatever the case may be, the range that we had scouted out was, I believe, it was based off this close here and probably typically how I like to do my zones. If there was like a bunch of chop here and a major low got put in, then I would be more inclined to use that level. But obviously the low of this base is all the way down here, and that's just too much range for me to be actionable, right? So we'll use these two levels here to have a potential zone of interest. Why? Because, well, obviously there is a meaningful rejection here and then another meaningful rejection here. So ideally bulls, if they want to stay over this base, will hold at least the upper side of this range, at least. So right now, currently a daily double bottom. We have a confirmed daily downtrend. So that weekly lower high has been set at 30.59. What the bulls will ideally see now is some kind of reversal pattern in this zone of interest. Like ideally what the bulls want to see is like a hourly wedge or something as we come down into this zone of interest. So there is a lot of volume over here, obviously because of this. The bears were to see some downside tomorrow, I wouldn't be surprised if they found some support right around the $19, right around 19 psych, which right where this top is pretty much. This close is 19.8. On the hourly time frame, very weak bounce at the end of the day. Let's see. I think so. There's a trend line doing things. Yeah. all these closes and there. All right, so not a bad channel. I would say there's a bunch of price action that would support it more or less back here. A bad channel to be mindful of. So this is a situation where we can use this lower support line to look long potentially, as long as the hourly can get extended. Ideally, the 5-minute and hourly RSI would get extended whenever we're trying to bottom fish this channel. And just realize that, of course, that's counter trend. Because the channel is sloping downward, your stop loss will be lower, right? As time goes on, your stop loss theoretically should be lower if it's based on the channel. If you're using price action, well, then that's another story. So ideally what bulls will see tomorrow is they just want to show up right away. Hold this low here of 2045 and break this high of 2138 in order to change this hourly trend and set that daily low there. That's ideal. Now, we can also be watching for a potential wedge. Have these, move this. So we have this potential trend line, right? Just in these pivots here. So I guess my point is we want to be mindful of new resistance lines that are printing. If we can start getting a wedge-like pattern, or maybe we get a bear break with no follow-through and then a rejection from here, this top of 2138 to set up a potential inverse head and shoulders. My point is really just that you want to be mindful of potential reversals whenever you have price action that is being contained, that's traveling in a fashion, consolidating in a contained fashion, and also in your zone of interest, right? All of these things are coming together to set up a potential long trade. And even if the bulls show up tomorrow, change that hourly trend, see some daily bounce follow through, the bears will just be looking for a daily lower high against 2385. Okay, NEE. NEE, just more daily inside bar today, more of this sideways action, but as long as they can stay over this previous high of 299.30, bulls will feel fine. Zooming in, we're just looking at this potential double W top, right? A double top here. Not a great look to get that bull break and then just dump all day. Definitely not what you want to see as a bull. That being said, there was a lot of volume that came in yesterday. I remember that. So we're just watching this 4-hour EQ, really. We're just watching this 4-hour EQ tighten up potentially into the end of the week. Looking for a break probably by the end. Well, maybe next week latest. Ideal situation for bulls tomorrow will be to hold this low here of 374 and break this high here of 304.10 to change. Oh, I'm sorry, to see more follow through on this hourly trend change. We actually got the hourly trend change here. And then straight into a bit of a sell-off. So again, another red flag. So this is a red flag. This bull break with no continuation into a sell-off is a red flag. And then this hourly trend change into a into some selling, also a red flag. The fact that we're under the pivot for the week, also a bit flag. So a lot of red flags popping up right now on NEE. Let's check the macro chart if we can put out. Just trying to see if we can find something to offer us some kind of guide where we are right now, and we have mooned so far. Really? Oh, let's see. Have a offer structure. Not bad. I just want to make sure that most of the price action is working around the median line. Alright, well, let's leave that up for now. Not a lot of clues on the macro charts yet. However, we are starting to show a few signs of weakness on the hourly time frame, but as long as we can stay healthy sideways, the bulls will be fine. Ideally, what they'll see is just this tighten up. Now, as a bear, we're just going to be top fishing, right? Because we know that there have been 2 instances now where the bear showed up big time. It's pretty safe to assume that there are bears there lying in wait. So if we can get hourly overbought into that level again, I don't hate means a top fish. And if we were to get hourly oversold into this bottom level, these bottom levels here, then I wouldn't hate a bottom fish. Have it both ways. Either way, you're having fish. Escater. All right. Duck. No ducks. Only fish. Duck. So good news and bad news on duck. The good news is that we are maintaining over these bunch of these tops here. I'll mark them off for future. Oh, I see. I'm on the. Alrighty, so we'll mark off all of these tops as they can offer potential areas of support. Should we see some downside on the monthly time, on the weekly time frame? We had a weekly inside bar last week, printing another one right now. As of right now, overall, it's a pretty good look for bulls as long as so far the daily consolidation is still very healthy. Just at a daily higher low here at 90.75. Let's peek hourly. Hourly EQ is getting really tight. A break by the end of the week. Likely. I don't love all these upper wicks. Love all those upper wicks. Bit of a cause for concern. And if the bears are to show up and take out this low here of 90.75, that will be confirmed daily downtrend. Actually, they kind of got it here already, but it's not much of like these little one candle pivots. So I would say that this is the most important support for me, 90.75. The bulls ideally want to defend that low. I don't really love any plays here. I don't love it, but if you were to bottom fish the range in 5-minute oversold condition, I think that's a fine setup. I think that's a well, I suppose actually you'd want to grab these ranges up here because ideally what will happen is price stays in this upper area. So highlight. We have this zone up here and then we have this zone down here. And obviously price has broken down a little bit and popped back above. And so if I mark this off with the highest close, see is multiple defenses of this area. I don't think we get, let's see, 1 close, 2 closes, 3 closes, 4 closes. So ever since we left this base, we've only had 4 hourly closes below. Not a bad look. 2, 5 closes. So what the bulls want to see ideally is to stay above this zone. So I don't hate bottom fishing as long as you have 5-minute oversold conditions if you're looking for that hourly pivot. So as soon as the levels get extended, I wouldn't hate something like that. Even just looking to test these local tops, the RR is good. I think that would be a pretty reasonable area. Price action support. Okay, I think that just about covers it. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you guys soon.